Welcome, everybody. A very good afternoon. Um, today I will be introducing you to Zoho Workplace, a bundle of 9 amazing applications that you can use for your workplace. I am Vaishnavi. I'm a marketer here at Zoho, and with me I have my colleague Pavitra, who is a fellow marketer. So we will be walking you through all the products within the Workplace bundle, and we'll also give you a brief demo on each of the products. Now, let me quickly tell you a little about Zoho before we get started with the session. So, at Zoho, we build cloud software applications for businesses of any size. We've been in the market for more than 20 years and have our presence in over 190 countries. We have 50 plus applications that focuses on all your business needs and over 50 million customers who run and trust their companies on Zoho. So, let's get started with the session. So, work and the workplace, as we all know, is constantly changing and evolving. And this is accelerated all the more during the recent times with more companies moving remote and away from the typical office setup. But doesn't matter where you work from, right? Be it working from a remote or be it working from office setup, there's one aspect of work that always remains constant. That is the need to communicate effectively. So communication is multidimensional. Let's look at it from two angles. The first is how communication spans across teams. So you either communicate internally, that is within your organization, communication happens within your team, across departments, and even within the organization. And then there is communication with external stakeholders. It can be your customers, partners, and contract employees. So this is one way where communication spans across teams, not just involving within your organization, but also stakeholders involving outside. Now, another aspect is how communication happens across many modes. We have voice, we have video, long form communication, and then we have chat. Now, we have tools for all of these modes, but it needs to work together in sync so that there is context to our conversations. We spoke about how work is constantly changing, and one aspect again about it is how work is now shifted from an I centric approach to a we centric approach, meaning it is now not just about an individual productivity, it is also organizations need to also focus on a team productivity. So, how do you facilitate multidimensional communication along with it being effective and ensuring you offer all the tools that an individual need and it also facilitates team collaboration? This is exactly where Workplace comes into picture. So, like I mentioned, Workplace is a bundle of 9 amazing tools and it offers a it offers a shared and a unified space for your teams to work together. It helps you easily manage your team files and it streamlines communication as well. Now, let me introduce each of these apps to you one by one. First, we have Zoho Mail, which is a secure and an ad free email hosting platform for all your formal communication. And then we have Click, which is an instant messaging app. And we have Zoho Workdrive to help you manage all your team files. And then we have the Zoho Office Suite, which is Writer, Sheet, and Show, Zoho's very own word processor, spreadsheet, and presentation platform so that your teams can get on documents and work on their ideas in real time, irrespective of which time zones they're from. And then we have Zoho Connect, which is your social intranet, more like Facebook for your company. And then we have Zoho Meeting, which is a virtual meeting tool where your team can meet not just with your internal stakeholders again, with external stakeholders as well. And finally, we have Zoho Showtime, which is a training platform where you can share knowledge with a larger group of audience. Now, Workplace not just offers these tools, it also offers these tools in an all-inclusive dashboard, which means you need not open 9 different browser tabs and access the app. You can access all of that from a single place. For instance, I can have access to my inbox from here. I can access all my recent conversations using from click here. I can look at the company wide announcements. I can see all the meetings that I have scheduled and a lot more. And all the apps that you see here are not just it. You can include more here. And and you can also swap these things around based on your preference. Now let's say you're someone who prefers who work involves a lot of coordinating with everybody, that so which means your main focus is to have click and email as your top priority, so you can bring that up and then use that. So similarly, you can customize the entire dashboard based on your preference. And then we spoke about how it is a single well integrated platform. So one example of that is here. So when I create a meeting, if you see on the right, there's a meeting created. There is immediately a calendar. My calendar is blocked for that particular time, and I receive an email notification as well. And not just me, every participant who's part of that meeting and who says yes, they're going to attend, they receive an email notification and it falls in their calendar as well. So so Workplace not just integrates, not just brings these tools together, it also ensures that there is some kind of continuity, business continuity across these applications as well. Okay, so without any further ado, let's quickly head to the product demo. Pavitra and I, we will be introducing each of these tools, talk a brief about how they work and what they are, and then we'll show you a live demo of all of these tools. First, I'll be talking about Zoho Workdrive and the Zoho Office Suites. So, Zoho Workdrive is an online file storage and content collaboration platform. Workdrive offers a shared space for your team to come together, work on their files, and collaborate in real time. So, this way, your team members need not share files individually. They can just put all the files in a shared space so that everybody has constant access to information. And then we have Zoho Office Suite, which is the Writer, Sheet, and Show. In fact, a lot of people are not aware that Zoho has a fully fledged Office Suite. These tools have been in the market for more than a decade and they've evolved to become a very strong editors. Now, I'll quickly go through the common features that they all have, and then we'll move on to the live demo. For starters, your team can simply create a document or a sheet or a presentation, get on the documents, and then work in real time, which means I can create a document, send it across to my colleagues, and I can see what changes they're making. I can suggest changes, and we can work together on the same document, just like how they're next to me, no matter where they are. And then we also have ready-made templates for all of the Office Suite products, which means you need not create documents or spreadsheets or presentations from scratch. You can simply repurpose these templates. And then you can also add comments and review changes within documents. Let's say you're working on a spreadsheet with your team and you think a particular a sheet that a particular column that your colleague added could be done differently or could be done better, then you simply go about adding a comment to that column. So what it does is you need not work in one place and you need not have a conversation about that work in a different place. All of that is brought under a single hood. So it brings more context to your conversations. And then we have the check-in checkout feature. Now let's say you're working on a presentation, you just idea strikes and you're still not sure whether you want to go about it or not before sharing it with the team. So what you can do is you can check out of that file, which means the file is now not accessible to any of your team members. Your team members will not be able to make changes to the file. They'll be able to see what was the last made change. They'll be only able to view the file, and meanwhile you can make all the edits to it, make sure your idea shapes up, and when you're ready you can check the file in. So all the changes that you've made will then be available to your collaborators so that they can share their feedback on it. So this is the workplace dashboard. So you will find all the 9 apps right on the top. So you can always access them from here. Like I mentioned, you can always juggle these tiles, move these tiles around based on your preference and based on which apps you access the most. And you can also customize it from here as well. Okay, so the first tool that I'm going to show is Zoho Workdrive. Okay. So Zoho Workdrive is again a file storage and content collaboration platform. So earlier we spoke about how communication is multidimensional, right? And then one aspect of it is how it spans across teams where there is internal and external collaboration. Now, in today's demo, this is exactly what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how WorkDrive facilitates this kind of multidimensional communication. So WorkDrive offers something called as the team folders that you see on the left here. So team folders are like a shared space that you create for a particular department or a function or even a project and add all the relevant members to it. And then any file or folder that you add to that team folder will then be automatically available to everybody. So for instance, here I have a Zilka marketing team folder. So I've gone about adding all the marketing team members here. When I invite a member, I can always give them an access permission based on what I want them to do within the team folder. So at the team folder level, we have 5 different kinds of access permissions, which is your admin, organizer, editor, commenter, and a viewer. Now, let's say you have an intern who's recently joined your team. So you do not want them to, make any changes to the file, but however, you want them to be a part of this team folder, get access to all of the documents, and simply observe what is happening, and probably, share their observations once in a while here and there. So what you can do is you can invite them and give them the commenter access so that they have access to all the files, they can view the documents, but they won't be able to make changes to it. And they can add comments to the documents where, as and when they think that they can share their observation. So this is when, so you create team folders when you have a, fixed set of people who you work with on a daily basis, or when you want to work on a particular project. Now, let's say I want to work with someone on this brochure. This person, I want to share this brochure with the legal team to check if, the content that is within the brochure is not very controversial or doesn't, end us putting under any legal uh, problems. So that is why I'm going to share this file with a legal team. So instead of inviting my colleague from the legal team to this team folder, I'm going to share directly this file to him so that so that they have access to just this file, and I can also decide what access to give them. So I'm going to give her the view and comment permission because I want her to go through the content and comment wherever changes is required. So now this is when you want to work with someone within your organization, but they are on a different team. Now, what if you want to share information or communicate something at an organization level? So what you can do is you can just head to the permalink settings here, change the visibility, and say anyone in the Zilka team. That is the organization of this account is Zilka, so it says Zilka. So you can always set this to anyone within the WorkDrive team, which means whoever has access to Zoho WorkDrive will have access to this file. So it's that simple. And similarly, you can set permissions here as well. And you can copy this link and you can also set an expiration to this link. So this is all about working within your organization. Another aspect that we saw is how you need to work with people outside your organization, for which Workshop lets you create external share links for documents. So you can create as many as external share links you wish to create for a document, and then you can name them. This again is for your preference. In case if you're creating an external share link for a folder, then you can set the access level as upload, which means the viewers can upload files. So for instance, you're working for a client and you want them to upload some kind of details. So you simply create an external share link for the folder and give them upload permissions and they'll be able to upload all their files. And if you create an external share link for the Zoho Office Suite formats, which is the Writer, Sheet, and Show, then you can give access level as edit so that people can collaborate with you on the documents. And note that for them to collaborate on the documents, they need not have a Zoho account. They can just directly work on it. So you can also customize the setting links. You can set a password to it, set an expiration, decide whether the users have to download or will they be able to download or not. And you can also request for user data. That is, you can ask for a name or an email ID every time when someone accesses this link. So for the purpose of the demo, I've already created and generated an external share link. Now, an interesting part about this is that you not only get to work with people outside your team, but you can also closely watch how many times they've accessed, who has accessed the file. So you get a complete audit trail of everything that's happening within that file as well. So for instance, here I see there are three viewers who've already viewed the document, and there's Carla who's downloaded the file. So this gives me a complete picture of how each and every member who's accessing the file has interacted with the file. So this is all about working within your team, working within your organization, and with external stakeholders. One main challenge that we all face especially when it comes to working with storage solutions, is the difficulty in finding documents, and that is why we have Workdrive's amazing search to come for rescue. So let's say my boss wants me to find a campaign, set of documents that we work for a campaign, and I'm really not sure what I named them. So all I can do is however, I remember the keyword that I used for the campaign. So I simply say use the keyword and search for the ones. So Workshop supports OCR, which means it just not just looks for the document names, it also goes into content of the document, and not just document, but also PDFs and images, and brings up all those files for your search. So these are images which has remote work in them. So Workdrive has actually picked that up. And we didn't stop here. We went a step ahead, and you can also search using objects within Workdrive. For instance, I want to find objects with laptops in them, all the images with laptops in them. So I just say laptop, and Workdrive brings up images with laptops in them. It's that simple, and this is really a great option for designers because they quite often work on multiple images. They're not sure what they named them, but they know what is in them, so they can use this. So this is all about Workdrive. Now, we spoke about how the workplace apps are tightly integrated. Another example is how you can manage the Office Suite files right from here. In fact, you can create the Zoho Office Suite files from here. Now, I'm going to quickly open this writer document here. So Zoho Writer, like I mentioned, is a word processor. So the Writer offers a very clean and a simple user interface that will let you focus on your ideas. You can easily pin down your ideas without much distraction. And whenever you need some kind of formatting or editing tools, you have them all packed within this left pane. And this is just not a great tool for individuals, but it is also great when you want to collaborate and have contextual discussions within documents. So if you notice, this is a blog that I have worked on, and I had already added to the team folder, which means all my team members will have access to it. Now I see, my colleague Rebecca has already added some comments to it. In fact, I can go about replying to them, and I can also track changes. So in case if she thinks, something can be written better, so she's made changes to it. So I can simply track them, and I can decide whether I can accept those changes or reject them. So so this is when someone has, directly interacted with your document, that is added comments or made changes. What about people who simply viewed the document? How do I understand their engagement, stats? So Writer offers something called as the engagement analytics that gives you a complete overview of how each one in your team has actually interacted with this document. So I'm going to simply click on Rebecca and to see. So she's went through the entire document. She spent about 9 minutes, and she's visited the document twice. And similarly, you can get page-wise insights as well. So this is when you have your team around. So there are times when you don't have your team around to help you out. What do you do then? Don't worry, we've got you covered there as well. So Writer offers a personal assistant to help you fix all those inconsistency in your documents or fix your grammatical errors, and it also helps you ensure that your language is more business friendly if you need. So this way you can avoid all those embarrassing moments with your team and make sure your the document that you share with your team is always picture perfect. So this is all about collaboration. Now, another interesting feature that I would like to talk about Writer is an entire workflow automation. Yes, you heard me right. So let's say I have a vendor agreement here. Now I need to get this signed by a couple of people who are definitely not next to me. So how do I do that? Usually I would probably, download the file, attach it in the email, send it to everybody, wait till, they sign the document. They would probably either download it and sign it. It's a huge process, right? And then I need to constantly follow up with them. So it's quite a mess. But with Writer, you can just set all that up and automate all of this process from this very window. Yes, you heard me right. So all you need to do is, select a place where the signature has to be placed and head to automate here. So go to merge template. So in case if you have existing data source, that is you have, vendor details or customer details available in your CRM or, in any other format that you can import, then you can just import them here. For now, I'm going to manually configure them. So you can just click this one, sign for, send for sign collection, configure. So this is the window where you can set up all these details. You can enter the signer details. You can decide whether they are a signer, approver, or reviewer. Now let's say I'm going to add someone to. I'm going to add Abigail. I want her to sign the document, and then I'm going to add Ken here, but he is the approver. Now I actually want Ken to first approve the document and then Abigail to sign the document. So what do? It's very simple. I just say sign in the above order and move Ken up. So now the document will first go to Ken. He approves the document and then it reaches to Abigail where she can sign the document. And similarly, I can add an email subject, a message, and I can also give in the document name. Under advanced settings, so I can also decide by when the entire signing collection process should end, and once in how many days do I need everybody to remain. Yes, so this way you need not manually type in emails or get in touch with them to remind them about the documents and the signatures. Writer will automatically send in emails to remind them, and when the entire process is completed, you can also save that file back to Workdrive, and you can also customize the document name so that there is no duplication of file or you don't get confused between the initial draft and the signed document. So this entire workflow that we usually will be doing, using multiple apps is all possible right within Writer from a single interface. It's that easy. So now with this, I come to the end of the Writer demo. I'm going to talk about the next tool in the Office suite, which is Zoho Sheet. So Zoho Sheet is a fully fledged spreadsheet tool. It offers over 350 functions, which helps you perform from a basic to the most complex of functions and calculations. Now, for the purpose of the demo, I've already created a spreadsheet here, so I'm going to quickly open that up. So this is a spreadsheet that I created with my team for an upcoming construction project. So this is more like a budget allocation and an estimation. Now, again, we have multiple people working on this spreadsheet. Now, there are times when you don't want certain people in the group to edit certain columns. For instance, the priority, I don't want certain people in the collaborators channel to edit this particular column. So what I can do is I can simply select that column and um, lock that column for that particular user alone. So for instance, even though Chloe has, okay, even though Helen has an organizer permission, which means she has access to edit the entire sheet, but I'm still going to lock her out of this particular column. Now she will not be able to edit the values within this particular column. Similarly, if I don't want anyone in the collaborators panel to edit this column, then I can just say lock for all, and none of them will be able to edit this column. So this is one. And another problem that we face when you have multiple hands in a particular work is that there are some kind of duplications, data duplications that gets created, or some kind of inconsistency, or some missing values. So how do you deal with that? Especially when you have so many rows and columns of data, it can get quite tedious when you do it manually. That's why Zoho Sheet has um, a very advanced data cleaning tool that will help you fix any kind of errors in a matter of seconds. So I'm just checking for any inconsistency available in this column. I noticed there are quite a lot. So she just throws all the inconsistencies right here, so I can just take a look at them and replace them. So it's that simple. So it just took what a couple of seconds for me to fix everything in this column. So it's that easy. And then we also have Zia within Sheet. Just like your personal writing assistant, you also have a data analyst right within Sheet. So what Zia does is it goes through all your data here and comes up with aggregates and reports and charts based on the data available within your sheet. And just like how you will ask your data analyst some kind of questions, you can ask Zia also in plain English. So, most frequent priority. I want to know which, is the most frequently priority done. So I'm just going to do that. Okay. And it will give me the most frequent priority mode that is there here. So you can similarly ask whatever questions you want, and Zia will answer them for you. So with this, we come to the end of Zoho Sheets demo. Now I'm going to show you the next and the last tool in the Zoho Office suite, which is Zoho Show. So Zoho Show is a very fun tool to use. You can create amazing presentations with your team. An interesting feature that they recently released, especially for the workplace customers, is the library, where you can create a central repository of all the presentations within for your organization, so that anyone in your team can head to the library. They'll be able to view the slides within it, and they can repurpose these slides, repurpose this presentation. In fact, you can also create slide libraries as well. So let's say you have a set of brand colors, or set of branding slides that you have, that every presentation needs to have in within your company. Then you can just simply add them here, and anyone can simply add them to their presentation and then repurpose them. Similarly, the team is also working on font library, specific object library, where you can reuse company fonts, you can reuse specific charts, and a lot more things. Now I'm going to pick a presentation and show you how the UI looks like. So this is the Zoho Show user interface. This is, again, you have all the tools that you need to create your slides packed under this comprehensive toolbar that you see on the top. So you need not, go through multiple drop downs to insert elements. You find them right on top, be it text, images, shapes, tables, charts, and Show is also offering multiple add-ons for you. For example, we have the Unsplash add-on, that is, we've integrated with Unsplash, which offers unlimited access to free high quality images that you can use within your presentations. In fact, most of the images that we've used here is again from Unsplash. And then Show also offers a contextual formatting pane. That is, let's say I want to edit this particular text. So when I click on the text, all the relevant formatting options contextually appears for me on the right. So I need not go about hunting for tools. Everything is available for me right at a single click. So similarly, when I want to edit this image, I click on the image and it's again available for me here. So again, so let's look at Zoho Show from a collaboration perspective as well. So you can collaborators can add comments to any element within Zoho Show. That is, um, okay. So I see Paula has added a comment to the slide here, and similarly, uh, okay. Similarly, there's a comment added to this text element. So imagine when someone comes and adds a comment to your slide saying that, hey, this is boring, let's change it. So you're kind of confused, right? You're really not sure that which element of your slide is boring. Is it the text? Is it the image? Or is it the overall look of it? So what but with Show, you can go about adding comments to every element within the slide so that there is more context to whatever comments that you're adding, and it's easier for others to understand. And you can also manage multiple versions. So you need not create multiple copies of the same document. Instead, you can manage them as multiple versions here. You can revert to a previous version, refer to a previous version as well. And then it also offers a couple of basic tools here to ensure that the data that is within your slides are error free as well. Now, another interesting part is that apart from the organization-wide library, Show also offers a set of gallery that offers wide range of slides that you can repurpose. So, in case if you're not great at designing, just like me, I often, get my designer's help. But you're still in a hurry; you don't have your designer next to you. So, what do you do? So, you simply head to the gallery, Shows gallery, pick a slide of your choice based on the data that you want to put in, select and then insert it there, and then you're good to go. So it's that simple. So now what I'm going to do is, now that I think I have my presentation ready, I'm going to quickly share it with my colleague Rebecca here, so that she can take a look and probably share it with a customer. So I give her share permission. Now all I do is, and so usually when you share a file, there is an email that the other person receives, but I'm in an emergency, okay? I want Rebecca to take a look at the presentation right away. So I'm gonna drop the link for her in the Click channel. So if you notice, the Zoho Click is integrated across the Workplace apps, which means you will find the Click bottom bar across all the apps. So you need not, like I mentioned, you need not open like 10 or 20 application windows to access all of them. You can do it from a single window. Thank you.